So in the Gender Equality Division at the Gates Foundation, we've been experimenting with ways to more precisely understand vulnerability, and through that, the inequitable distribution of burden to poor health outcomes. We know the social determinants of health matter. The WHO, UNICEF have estimated anywhere between 33 and over 50% of all health outcomes are actually the result of the social determinants of health. But they're really hard to work with. It's life, it's messy, it's complex. You know, how one woman seeks health care or her sort of social relations in her household are different from how another woman experiences that. So we've used segmentation as a way to organize and manage the social determinants of health and thus make them actionable. When we see that a woman falls in one particular segment, we can map from that segment to the outcomes that that we know that she's likely to experience. It's called the typing tool. It's a set of about 10 questions, and anyone can ask those questions, and it types the woman into a segment. Any type of a frontline health worker can use it. We've experimented in Bihar State in India with creating these tools so that frontline health workers can use them. We actually have digital apps so people can go out into the field and quickly, have people answer questions, and women get typed into the segments very quickly. Any intake form in a facility, a doctor, many of the questions they're already asking, but it gives them a sort of structure in which to ask them, and then it puts the woman in front of them into a segment. And then there's a number of sort of ancillary products and assets that we're developing on the global public good that will then explain, okay, who is this woman? And what are her constraints at home? Can I send her home with medication for her daughter, her girl child, while I actually know she's going to end up giving it to her boy child, for example? What might I do as a physician to sort of provide her with services that are different in a way that she can access them so that they're most meaningful to her health and the health of her children?
This is one of the domains, as we call it, but the domains, or 6 of them, are actually a part of the pathways framework. And what you see here are a bunch of different factors, and these are just ultimately the elements that contribute to making a woman more vulnerable to negative health outcomes. So you see here, we have something like food insecurity, chronic illness or death of a partner or caregiver, being able to call on one in times of crisis. So this kind of plays into the network that a woman and her family might have when things occur. Absence of a male partner in the home. Again, these are all things that might contribute to her being more economically vulnerable and therefore more vulnerable to negative health outcomes. But we were particularly trying to focus on how to contextualize these factors to the local context to here in Pakistan. So we spent the afternoon going through each of these domains, really looking at the individual factors and thinking about how do they manifest here in Pakistan, and what do we really need to be paying attention to if we're going to apply the framework here in this space.
So I think a few things are really unique and I think extremely valuable about pathways. One is by really taking this mixed methods approach, which I think is something that a lot of times is talked about in health research, but I haven't seen anything really done quite so well where qualitative and quantitative research is integrated. I am a quantitative person. I'm an epidemiologist. I've been doing quantitative research my whole career, and sometimes dabbling in a little bit of qualitative, but nothing where they're so married. Pathways is so much broader. It is looking at the intersection of factors from all domains of a woman's life, her past life, her kind of experience as an individual with kind of her mental models, her social norms, her experience in her household, the economic conditions, the social conditions in which she lives and interacts. And it looks at how all of these factors combine in order to drive her vulnerability to different health conditions. And that allows us to look a little bit more broadly and also to be more actionable. In doing some of these segmentation solutions and looking at the data, we've seen that there are some segments of the population that have a high prevalence of home birth, of giving birth at home. And when you kind of dig a little bit deeper to understand what's behind that, you'll see that actually those families have a preference for home birth. They're planning a birth at home. And that kind of opens up a window to looking at it in a different way into what do you do about it. And so the government in Nigeria has been looking into having home birth kits available. And so this can help us understand the resourcing of those and to which homes could they go to. We want people to be going to the facility, but we've identified households where they are not going to do that. Their preference is to give birth at home, and so we can use home birth kits as a way to enable them to do that more safely.